What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about Luna and how to trade these massive moves. I mean, look at this. It literally did a 1,000% in about an hour. So we're going to talk about this. It's going to be great. I'm going to teach you how to kind of catch these moves or, wait for confirmation and not just be knife catching over and over, because Luna literally just went from $100, $118, I think, down to $2 or down to 70 cents. Like, incredible, right? But before we get into that, I just want to give a quick shout out and welcome you guys to the first episode of my Bitget Get Educated series. Thank you, Bitget, for sponsoring this. I actually have been trying out the exchange before I started working with them, and it's been great, you guys. Actually, I can say the mobile app has been good. I haven't had to use a VPN. I didn't have to KYC. Withdrawals are pretty quick. So haven't had any issues. I definitely can recommend it. If you do want to try it out, there is a link below, and you can actually save 15% on your trading fees by using my link. So I really appreciate that. And of course, if people are signing up, then Bitget's going to want to keep sponsoring my content. So thank you again, Bitget. Looking forward to this series. Again, it's called Get Educated. I'm going to teach you guys as much as I can about trading from what I've learned and experienced. But anyway, so let's talk about Luna. This has been incredible. I mean, are you kidding me? A 99.9% drop, basically, right? But how do you trade this, right? You can't just be knife catching this over and over and over. And you can see here, there's been absolutely no indication, all right? No supports have held. This monthly chart here just nuked through support. We go to the weekly chart, same support, and it bounced probably above this support. So how do you catch this, right? How do you trade this? Well, one thing, you need to be patient. There's a lot of FUD on this, and when you're trading FUD, with the whole depegging of UST and all this stuff, when you're trading those kind of situations, it can literally be a bottomless pit. It can basically go to zero, and yes, at some point it's going to bounce, but getting a good buy-in, there's no such thing as a good buy-in, and when you do buy in, you're getting out rather quickly, okay? So it's not something that you're just going to hold. You're not going to be like, oh, well, $18 seems like a good price, I'll just hold, because it went down 99%, right? And so when people say that this is a good long-term hold because the risk-to-reward is great, well, the risk-to-reward is zero, whether you buy, a 99% drawdown. If you buy here at the $26 and you think it's a good risk-to-reward, if you buy here at $14 thinking it's a good risk-to-reward, if you buy here at $6 thinking it's a good risk to reward, look at this. You're all going to see 90% drawdown. Bam, 97% drawdown, 95% drawdown, 90% drawdown, okay? So the risk to reward is not great. Now, so where do we find a good risk to reward? Well, like all things, mean reversion is real, and the bounces are going to be dramatic, and you're going to want to get out quickly. So we got to really zoom in here, and we have no indication to buy at all this whole time. Look, we have nothing. Even on the 6-hour chart, okay? If you bought here and it didn't see any immediate buyer momentum, you just get out, okay? If you're knife catching, because there's no confirmation, there's no breakout here. We have one candle and there's no breakout, there's no follow through. So we have no confirmation, and this is just the 6-hour chart. Look, it's just straight nuking, and this is all knife catching. There's no confirmation to buy on any of this. So we go to the 4-hour chart, okay? All nuking, blah, 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 still nuking. So 1-hour chart. Now, okay, because again, this is just a bearish consolidation, okay? So if you're buying here, you need to get out quickly if it doesn't work out, because this isn't a downtrend, all right? And then if you're buying here, you're knife catching because, again, there's no follow through. We rejected at the first resistance, and we broke down. And you can see here, I mean, as soon as you break down from this low, you go lower. And if people are holding there or buying there, it's very, very risky, okay? So it's all about being smart, not knife catching. So what we see here, finally, we have a parabola, okay? An inverse parabola. Now, if we invert this scale, bam, that looks very bullish. We've got a parabola, blow off the top, and a rejection, right? So I want to catch it before this big breakout, though, right? Like, I don't want to get in after let me see. Can I do this right? Let me invert this back. All right. I don't want to get in after a, 250% move, right? The move is already gone. So how can I get in at a better risk reward? Well, now we can go to lower time frames. So basically, whenever a parabola breaks, you expect a harsh move in the other direction, okay? We've seen it with Doge back when it broke the parabola up at like 60 cents, all right? But anyway, so we have a parabola here. And parabolas are a very strong advance, and they go faster the higher they get, right? So you're going to see a parabola start off like nice and slow, and it's going to be consolidating, and then when it goes up, it's going to be very steep like this, okay? And when parabolas break down, okay, you don't know when they're going to break down, so you don't want to try to counter move a parabola because it can go forever. Like this parabola could literally, you think it's done here because it's going up really fast, it could literally go straight vertical. And we've seen it happen before in crypto where these parabolas just go straight up for like 2 or 3 days or a week or a month, right? And they just go straight vertical, big green candles, absolutely insane. So we don't want to catch them early. And another note, you guys, is a parabola can break down and it can still do one more higher high and then nuke. All right. Now that's not as likely. It doesn't happen as often. And it's more in the very, 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 very strong ones that it happens. But anyway, so when a parabola breaks, you're trying to catch the lower high before it goes crazy. Because after this lower high, okay, or inverse parabola is going to be the opposite. After this lower high is when price action just goes quickly, all right? And maybe if we go to the Bitcoin chart real quick, we can kind of see this from 2014. And actually, I think I need to go to a different chart. All right, Bitcoin, Bitstamp. All right, so let's go to the one-day chart, and we'll go back to getting all my random lines off here, okay? And let's go back to this right here, okay? So we have this parabola break on Bitcoin. I'm not going to draw it. You guys can all see this. But then you've got this lower high here, all right? And what happens? Straight down. Big move, right? Very nice move. Very quick profit if you short, or, if you sell, then you obviously are feeling really good about yourself. So that's how we want that to look, all right? So let's go back to Luna. All right, so we're going to go to the 1 hour, okay? And you want to see a parabola break. Can I zoom in here? All right, so let's get rid of all this garbage. It's not garbage, it's beautiful art. Okay, so we'll leave that there. That's I'm going to NFT that later. You guys can buy this from me for 4ETH, all right? Or how about 500 Luna, which is worthless now. Okay, so let's go into the 30-minute chart. Okay, because we want to see this break. So the 30-minute chart, all right, finally breaks here and retests. So on this retest here, I could maybe get in on it. Again, this is a 30-minute chart. Look at this nice big volume, bearish, bullish engulfing candle. Clearly a parabola break. And then basically, a higher low here. Bam. Easy, that's where you could get in somewhere up here. So you have the parabola break. If you don't get a retest, you don't buy, right? You never FOMO a green candle. You always try to buy red. So if we get in on a retest somewhere, and let's just assume we don't catch the bottom, and we still get 300% move out of that, which isn't too bad, and we're only chasing about 150% late, which isn't terrible, okay? But let's zoom lower to 15-minute, no signs on the 15-minute, okay? 5-minute chart, we finally start to see a parabola break here. And why is this parabola break? Well, price actually finally starts to go sideways for a little bit, okay? And not only that, you see that we have no volume here. So from here to here, we have relatively no volume, okay? Look at this. It's very low. Nobody's taking interest. And you basically want to see capitulation. So here, okay, we have some capitulation here. We have some higher volume. But what happens? Price just keeps going down, all right? Here, again, we have some higher volume. And what happens? Price stops. Okay, so that means sellers are possibly exhausted because, again, high sell volume, price stops. And look here, we kind of have a similar situation here. I'm going to highlight this. Okay, we kind of have a similar situation here. But price stopped after this high sell volume. But what happened? It didn't break up. Didn't break up, no higher low. It immediately broke down, kept going. Okay, so here, this is a 5-minute chart. We finally have our first semblance of a higher low here. And if you go to the 1-minute chart, it's even a little bit more clear. Okay. Look at this high panic volume at the bottom. And you could literally wait for this candle to be reclaimed. Okay. We have a higher low and you just get on this retest and it makes for a very good risk reward trade. And if it doesn't go in your direction pretty quickly, you just get out. And you can see here how quickly it went in our favor if we would have gotten in. So back to the 5-minute, we have this parabola break with high volume selling here. immediately stopped. And then what happens? This 5-minute candle closes above this breakdown here, okay? And that's telling me that all of this selling was for nothing, right? We had all these sellers, look, all these sellers here, they made an impact and they caused more selling, right? All these sellers here just panic sold the bottom, and then price was like, well, buyers were like, well, thanks for letting me buy your bags at these prices. Now I'm going to push price up. We're now above where you sold. And again, you wouldn't buy here. We have no close. This could just easily as reject. But now here we have a higher high sort of from this area and a higher low here. And that's our first one. And you can see the type of reaction we had. And from there, if you just get in here, whoo, right? And that's a 500 and something blah, blah, blah pump, right? And now we don't knife catch over and over, okay? Because, yeah, if you get in at the bottom, right? If you get at the exact bottom, you're getting 800%, 1,000% almost, right? Which is absolutely insane. But you're trying to catch the bottom. And how many times you have to try to catch the bottom before you lose all your money? Like, let's say you had a $10,000 account. You turned it into $2,000 here. You finally buy this at $2,000, and it goes back up, and you are at 10K again, or 8K, or 11K, and you did all that effort to make $1,000, right? So, point here is we wait for confirmation. We don't knife catch. We find a clear, obvious pattern or setup, and once we have some semblance of confirmation, which gives us a good invalidation point, a good risk reward, some actual picture on the chart that says, oh, we might actually have a bottom here rather than just guessing over and over and over, that's when we take our opportunity. And it literally took a 99.9% drop to really see something. So that parabolic advance, that extremely fast selling, when those rebound, they usually rebound hard, and it can be a very good opportunity. And now it can go, it'd be a parabola to the upside or an inverse parabola to the downside. And then for target's sake, you can see here, we basically rejected here. And what I'll show you guys is how I would draw Fibonacci to kind of measure this move. So I would say that the parabolic advance really started right here, right? This was a drop, and then we really had the parabolic advance here. So I'm going to draw from here to here, okay, my fib. And now the 0.236 fib is where I like to shave some profit, but on these breaks, actually the 0.382 fib is almost guaranteed, all right? And whether you go from here or here, it's neither here nor there if you're drawing your fib levels, but you can see here it goes just front runs the 0.382 fib. So that's always my first target. It reaches more often than not. Every once in a while, the 0.236 fib will just reject and it'll go. So this is where I would look to shave profit at least 75%, all right? Because you've got huge gains. There's no reason to, be over greedy at that point. You've got your nice, easy, guaranteed gains here. You get out, and if you want to hold a moon bag, you hold a moon bag, and you hope for that complete retrace, that 80%, because whenever a parabola breaks, you expect an 80%-ish, maybe more retrace, right? And so that would be up here around $15 area, all right? So that happens a lot. It could take a lot of time. It's still possible that happens. It could chop around and then continue up there. But in general, we like quick, easy money. We like guaranteed money with very clear, tight invalidation levels. So you take your easy profit there every time you get out. And you can see here now, it's down 70% from the highs already, right? So if you didn't take profit at all, you're thinking, oh man, I should have sold. I was up, an extra 200 or 300% from there. And you didn't realize your gains. So anytime you're trading these, take your quick profits. You saw on the Bitcoin chart from 2018 how it dropped really deep and then rebounded, then slow bled again. So it can take some time, but the initial move is what you're trying to catch on these trades because it's very quick and sweet, and you're wrong quickly or right quickly. So if you're wrong quickly, you just get out, you cut the small loss. If you're right quickly, you're right big, you're making good money, and if you try this over and over, and let's say you only win 2 out of 6, you're still doing pretty well because 2 out of 6 on a 200, 300, like these will give you at minimum 100% pumps on these brakes usually, okay, if they're strong enough. So you're going to get very nice, big, strong moves. You can catch a good amount of the move, catch some nice meat of that move, make a good profit, and then take off and sell while everyone else is getting chopped up and arguing about what the hell is going to happen. You don't care because you literally just caught this big fat move and you're like, look, I don't give a shit what happens next, right? So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you stay tuned for more content on my YouTube. I'm always bringing you guys education. If you want to check out Bitget, the link is below to save 15% off trading fees. But otherwise, coming up in my next video, I will make a tutorial on how to use their exchange, you know, kind of the features of it and all the assets available and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, give me a thumbs up, you guys. Subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. I'm getting closer and closer every day. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time. Peace.